"24 hours later and 300 miles traveled, we've got a rubber match to play between cats and crustaceans, but this time we're in the lobster tank and we've got a birthday to celebrate. Good evening, Crustacean Nation, and welcome to your view of Akins Ford Arena, where the Blue Ridge Bobcats take on your Athens Rock Lobsters. This is Matt Rad bringing you all the action live on the radio waves and here on the official Rock Lobster YouTube page. If you haven't already, be sure to like the stream, hit the subscribe button to take part in the chat, and ring the bell to stay notified of all future streams, highlights, and interviews. Let's start the night with the Piedmont Athens Regional pregame show. It's a special night indeed, as fans have packed in here to celebrate the arrival of the Rock Lobsters' long-awaited mascot, Claudius. The hometown team will be looking for a special performance to secure the series against the Blue Ridge Bad Guys. Athens was able to even that series up after a 5-3 win last night, after their 10-game win streak ended 3-0 in Blue Ridge on Friday. In that Saturday night contest, Athens wasted no time establishing their attack as Philip Virgili pirouetted toward the crease from behind the net and poked one through the 5-hole of Gregory Hussey to take the lead on a first-period power play. Garrett Milan followed up minutes later, doubling the lead after his centering pass took a piece of Hussey's pad and found its way into the net. The Rock Lobsters continued their dominance in the second, with Daniil Kukaryov netting a highlight reel goal just 39 seconds into the second period for his third in 3 games. Athens twisted the dagger with its special teams. Malik Johnson and Virgili combining for a Swede scored goal on the penalty kill at the 5:17 mark. Milan scored his second by passing it past Hussey on the power play later on in the period. The Bobcats tried to stage a late comeback with 3 unanswered goals, but it could not complete their efforts. We take a quick look at the standings to see how everything, if anything, shifted since last night. Rock Lobsters within striking distance. If they win all 4 of their games to play on Carolina, they can take the lead at the top of the Continental, but a good gap between them and Baton Rouge and Columbus, who are both level at 70. Of course, Wytheville, who is the opponent tonight, rather the Blue Ridge Bobcats, about 20 points behind on 60. Let's turn our attention to tonight's Fan Saves Impact players of the game, and for the Bobcats, it'll be Nicholas McHugh. With Blue Ridge down 5-0 last night, it was his goal that created a spark that nearly caught on like a wildfire. His wrister was the first of those 3 unanswered goals before the Rock Lobsters dumped the aquarium all over that fire. For the Rock Lobsters, we look at Brandon Reller. Head coach Steve Martinson stressed taking some of the pressure off of his top lines and getting his depth guys contributing. Reller is just a little more than a week removed from his hat trick in Danville. He's shown speed, forechecking, and defense, but if he can make his scoring touch permanent, he can make any team pay. Our Impact Player segment is brought to you by FanSaves. Download the FanSaves app and follow the Athens Rock Lobsters to check out the team's digital coupon book. A very familiar 5 highlights tonight's Akins Ford engine starters. Josh Rosenzweig back in the net for Athens. Carter Shinkarik and Riley Robertson, and the D-men in front of him. And the first line out to start the game in Garrett Milan, Orca Weisblatt, and Daniil Glukaryov. Our starting lineup is brought to you by Akins Ford. If you're going to make a deal on a new Ford truck, why not deal with the biggest and best Ford dealership in the Peach State? That does it for tonight's Piedmont Athens Regional pregame show. Piedmont, real change lives here. We're going to be back with Athens Rock Lobster hockey right after this commercial break. UGA football player Amarius Mims suffered a serious injury. The quality care from the Piedmont team.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about my future in the game.
but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Since we opened in 1968, we've taken pride in our professional staff. Unparalleled customer service is our legacy. Experience the best, skilled hands and friendly faces. Our legacy. Experience the best, skilled hands and friendly faces. At Stanfield Air Systems, satisfaction is not just a guarantee, it's our tradition. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
We're back here at Akins Ford Arena. Right now having some trouble playing the audio for our commercial spots on the radio. Apologize for that. Going to try and figure that out as the broadcast goes on. So bear with us. We'll briefly pause for station identification. WGAU and W254CJ Athens, 98.7 FM and AM 1340 WGAU. Starting lineup once again getting announced here at Akins Ford Arena. Milan, Glukarioff, and Weisblatt. Robertson and Shinkarik, the D-men. Josh Rosenzweig in net. A change in goaltender for the Bobcats tonight. They go to Connor Green, who just returns from Fayetteville. He had to come back and join his FPHL team after getting loaned out to the SPHL. After Marshall Murphy took a tumble in warm-ups yesterday, wondered what it was. Apparently he took a puck in the eye. Not pretty at all. There's a good look at the starters, and here's our kids' captain. Last name Graff. I wonder if any relation to Dr. Alec Graff, who is the team physician as provided by Piedmont Athens Regional. That time for the national anthem. And tonight, a special treat, as we've got the Donovan Ram Band to perform the Stars and Stripes here. We take it to them. A rendition of God Bless America to get us started. And now it's time for the Stars and Stripes. The singers of the Donovan Ram Band to now perform the national anthem. Another beautiful rendition here at Akins Ford Arena of our Stars and Stripes. Here we see Claudius, first time that we've seen him on the ice, and he's about to be joined by Lance Perry from North American Senior Benefits, the game sponsor of tonight's game. A big round of applause here for Claudius. He seems likely to just add in on what has already been a party-like atmosphere here in the Classic City, thanks to the advent of the Rock Lobsters and Akins Ford Arena. Lance Perry with the puck drop. Shake of the hands with Carson Andrioli and Carter Shinkarik. And all that's left now is to play an exciting game of hockey. A rubber match between these two teams. 3-game set, 2 played in Blue Ridge on Friday and Saturday. This a replay of the potential home opener that never happened here at Akins Ford Arena. Well, it's happening now. Blue Ridge brought a lot of fight Friday to the Rock Lobsters, and we're backed up thanks to a great goaltender performance from Nicholas Hussey. Be interesting to see how they do with Connor Green back in the cage. Green looking for his first win in the FPHL this season. And away we go here. Rock Lobsters win the faceoff. Weisblatt back to Shinkarik. Shinkarik fast around his net. Breezing through the neutral ice, dumps it into the corner. The D-man trying to chase it himself. Glukaryov back behind the net, centering pass all the way back to the line for Milan. Left circle, Weisblatt back to Robertson. Big Red into the left for Super Milan. Tries the toe drag, but a good body check there from Alavak. Milan up into the corner for Glukaryov. Fending off the pressure, finds Weisblatt in that same corner, and then he gets pinned to the boards by Ernst. Bobcats trying to push it out over the line to create a little bit more space. They pass it back, but not a tape-to-tape pass as it sprinkles past Daly and picked up back by Shinkarik. Shinkarik very, very comfortable behind the net of his goaltender. He knows that he can quickly step on the gas pedal and breeze past anyone that comes his way. But coming the way of Rosenzweig, right here is McHugh, and he hits the iron. Early opportunity for the Blue Ridge Bobcats. It would be a big, big statement if they're able to take the early lead here. Malik Johnson with a foot on the line as Casey Gallant takes it over. Gallant takes a spill off the check, but the Rock Lobsters have it back in the center of the ice. Slagers with a mispass. Rock Lobsters trying to bury it deeper into the zone. Furiseth coming off of his first professional game Friday, and he scored an early step there from the Bobcats, and they are called for the offside. Quick start for the Bobcats, and they get the chance from McHugh that is rattled off the bar. McHugh scoring that first goal for the Bobcats last night after they were down 5-0. He started that comeback that the Bobcats couldn't finish. But if he can start the Bobcats hot off tonight, that was a key to their win Friday, was scoring first and scoring more often. Poke there from Alden. All forwards kind of congested there on the right side. Works out for the Rock Lobsters. Green with a play of the puck. Backhands it off the end boards. Bobcats coming away with it on the right side. Banker pass attempt. Cut out by the skates of Alden. Radchenko. Pass right out into front of his bench. And a big hit right in front of the bench from Picard. Vlasov taken. Long distance shot to the wide part of the area behind Rosenzweig's net. Slam on the brakes from Daly, taken away from him by Kolatarsi. Good bounce there for Garrett Milan, but can't settle it. It's taken off of him there by Ernst. Another big hit in the corner. Orca Weisblatt, someone who likes to finish his checks. Head coach Steve Martinson pointed out to us that nobody is throwing checks around more on this team than Orca Weisblatt. Face-off will happen to the left of Connor Green here, a 24-year-old native of Tampa Bay, Florida, once again returning from his loan to the Fayetteville Marksmen after the injury to Marshall Murphy yesterday in Blue Ridge during the warm-ups. A swollen left eye is apparently what Marshall is in possession of right now. The Bobcats enter from the left side. Good defensive intervention there from Glukarioff, and Andrioli misses a shot high. Weisblatt out in front of his bench. Backhands it. Out into the front of the penalty boxes to Shinkarik. Milan, did he get a touch of that? Doesn't matter, no icing, say the officials. Glukarioff, game of cat and mouse with him and Ernst. And Glukarioff takes the buck off of him. Glukarioff into the zone, tried to find a gallivanting Gallant. Gallant's so dangerous when he goes hard to the net, as is this man, Glukarioff. We saw that firsthand last night. Puck still loose out in front. None of the Rock Lobsters can get a touch of the blade of their stick on that biscuit. Meanwhile, the Bobcats the other way. Ooh, a good check laid there by the official. And they'll blow the whistle as the official takes a spill on the right side. We'll take a look there on the replay. There was that big check that was laid by Orca Weisblatt earlier on. We'll be implementing replay tonight thanks to the fantastic production staff we have here at Akins Ford Arena. That Weisblatt hit was the past. Now the present, the face-off here will happen to the right of Rosenzweig. Philip Virgili going up against Devin Sanders, the highest scoring Bobcat of this Blue Ridge team. Halagers right out of the face-off with a shot. Rosenzweig able to watch that all the way into his glove. Josh Rosenzweig, 30 saves on 33 shots in the 3-0 loss versus Blue Ridge on Friday. We're going to do the same exact draw again, but not before. I think the official seeing something wrong with the clock that they didn't like. Blue Ridge at short distance, a backhand flip from McHugh wide of the mark. Kyle Russell gets a touch of that one, trying to get it out of the corner. Whistles it around towards Johnson, put back in by Sanders. Greco behind the net laid a huge hit on Belfay, and I believe Belfay not playing tonight because of the after effects of that big hit. Greco trying to get tangled up there with Furiseth. Slagers with the shot. Easy for the Rock Lobsters to intervene on, and Malik Johnson easily winning that foot race. But a good redemption there from Daniel Klinecki, who comes back to play a little bit of defense on it. Cole Tarsi. Really the only big chance we've seen in this game thus far was that shot from McHugh that rattled off the crossbar. Hunter Alden trying to change that. He's been hungry to try and score his first goal of the season and his first pro goal of his career. Right to left pass, taken in by Hall. Dumped in for the Bobcats. Radchenko shot from the point. Wide, good centering pass, but only finds Shinkarik. Brandon Reller trying to track down Norwinski. Good passing out of their own zone for the Bobcats, then dumped in by Hall. Shinkarik, a great defensive intervention. Reller trying to backhand it into neutral ice. It eventually finds its way there. Matthew Ernst. Josh Rosenzweig calls everyone off like a fly ball and gets that one in the glove. We go to a commercial break here. No score between the Rock Lobsters and the Bobcats. Almost 6 minutes gone.
This thing on? Perfect.
opened in 1968, we've taken pride in our professional staff. Unparalleled customer service is our legacy. Experience the best, skilled hands and friendly faces. At Stanfield Air Systems, satisfaction is not just a guarantee, it's our tradition. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
It's a historic season for all the hockey fans in Athens, and how can you celebrate without beer? The Athens Rock Lobster Clawshank Redemption is available exclusively at Terrapin Tap Room. Terrapin, do the right thing, always. There's only one place you can deck yourself out and represent Athens' first ever pro hockey team, the Rock Lobsters. Head to shop.rocklobstershockey.com to get your hats, shirts, and even jerseys now. This is it, Crustacean Nation, 40% off. Don't miss your chance to grab your favorite Rock Lobsters hockey gear. 40% off on shop.rocklobstershockey.com. Don't miss your chance. That sale ends tomorrow. Horn blows here at Akins Ford Arena. Here on Claudius's birthday, a lot to celebrate, and a good crowd here tonight in Akins Ford Arena to hearken in the new mascot. We're seeing an official here with out the helmet. I think he needed to wipe off a little bit of perspiration there, and I believe that was the same official that took a spill, kind of laid the check on a Blue Ridge Bobcat. Hopefully everything's okay there. Garrett Milan on the face-off here for the Rock Lobsters. Bobcats able to keep the Rock Lobsters pinned in. Glukarioff with a turnaround effort to get it out. Good play with the glove there from Hlavak. Ooh, that one almost caught Rosenzweig off guard. The bounce off the end board, but he gets the glove over it, rather the blocker, and freezes time at 13:54. Had a little bit of issues with the audio on the radio side, but it looks like we have that all figured out now. And hopefully we have some good action to now treat all of our listeners to as we see the shot from Hlavak go over the bar. Bounces back off the glass and down. The Bobcats causing some issues right now for the Rock Lobsters. A blue line shot just wide to the left. Orca Weisblatt not able to beat the icing. Ernst got there first. A few more seconds shaved off of the clock. The Watson family in the chat asking who the officials are tonight. Two referees, Brian Cole and Todd Greenberg. The linesmen, Phil Russler and Alex Cole. Milan, backhand shopper back to the inboards. Shinkarik, so patient in his approach. Thought he had the pass that he wanted, tried to cut through the center of the rink for it, but was unable to find either Weisblatt or Milan. This angle looking a little bit washed out here on our camera feed. Let me see if I can try and change that. Milan wins it against Sanders on the draw. Haven't seen the traditional fluidity offensively for the Rock Lobsters yet. Two sticks colliding there, and a puck sent shooting into the stands, and hopefully everybody's okay. You could take a look in the concourse and see how many more fans are still getting their drinks and getting their food before heading back to their seats. Face-off happens right at the center of the ice. Good movement all around, finds Furuseth on the right side, and it takes a piece of Greco's ankle, who's down, hurting on the ice. The Bobcats trying to make the most of it. Greco still hurting on that. In a lot of pain here. But the Rock Lobsters need to touch the puck in order to create the whistle. They do, but play still goes on. Greco still hurting here. Bobcats get the puck to the point. Klinecki into the left circle. Tight angle shot. Kyle Russell touches it, and Greco in a lot of pain, and here comes Chris McNeely to check on him. Michael Greco almost looking like he wants to take a bite of the ice with how much pain he's in, to try and put some pressure somewhere else. And Michael Greco has been an impact player, to say the least, this year. Chris McNeely still checking on a prone Michael Greco. Let's go to a commercial break here and see if we can get you an update after this advertisement.
Every business owner who's built a business wonders about their company's legacy. What's the path forward after they decide to take a step back? At the heart of every succession plan is a vision that safeguards hard-earned success. This isn't just paperwork. It's your roadmap, guiding a business during a change in ownership and detailing how ownership transitions and key financial decisions unfold. This instills a profound sense of pride, belonging, innovation, and commitment, ensuring a stable future for the company and a rewarding exit for you. Let's forge that path together.
Michael Greco helped off the ice, and that did not look pretty by any means. A blocked shot for Greco. It looked around the ankle area, and not great to see. He's still lingering in the tunnel there, unable to find much movement, and just wishing the best for Michael Greco. We were talking about how much of an impact he's made to this team since joining, with the amount of hits that he's laid on, and a couple big goals as well. Joshua Slager's hoping to score a big goal of his own out of that mix. But here come the Rock Lobsters with a 2-on-1 brewing. Garrett Milan stings the glove. Glukarioff tries to sweep it through, and Milan takes a big hit in the corner. Sanders with a hit on Milan. Blocker save from Rosenzweig. Trying to send Milan the other way. Slapper from the circle. Another save from Green. Weisblatt. Shinkarik wants it. Slaps the stick down on the ice. One-time pass. Glukarioff to Weisblatt. Milan. Weisblatt lays it off for Robertson. Another save. Stings the glove of Green. Riley Robertson is due. Just one goal on the year for him, and it's been quite some time. Robertson. Evasive, dumps it in, but right at Green, it spills out. The whistle's blown. The referee showing frustration in himself there. He wasted no time at getting that whistle to his lips. Rock Lobsters down to D-man, of course, with that injury to Michael Greco. He is a tough son of a gun, to say the least, and we see Kulatarsia's shot get deflected right out to the wide of Green. Through the center of the ice, Andrew Utoro, someone who did not play last night, trying to get on the score sheet. A great glove save from Rosenzweig. Bobcats with a face-off right out in front of Rosenzweig here. Shots on goal in favor of Blue Ridge, 6-5 in the early going. A little bit of an interesting trend here, though, as the team who has had the less shots on goal in the previous 2 games of this series are the team that have won the game. Josh Rosenzweig with another great save. Reller with the pass from Picard. Garcia doesn't get what he wants on that shot. A great feed from Reller. Utoro tries to put it through the skates of Virgilio and does. Centering pass from the corner. Took a piece of Rosenzweig. Luckily out and not in. Radchenko. Radchenko whiffs on that pass. Shinkarik. Another dump in. Rock Lobsters unable to create a lot of pressure with the forecheck on the dump and chase. Andrioli, left flank. Centering pass, half shot really. Matthew Ernst. Hlavak from the point. Another block shot, and this time Virgili's hurting. Puck loose out in front. Rosenzweig squeezes the biscuit to make sure it doesn't make its way to the oven. We go to another media timeout. Still no score, but the Rock Lobsters down a man. Michael Greco back to the locker room. Classic City Flats is a brand new apartment community in Athens, Georgia that redefines luxury living, offering a sleek and contemporary living experience. Our impeccably designed apartment homes boast sophisticated interiors, premium amenities, and exquisite finishes, providing residents with an unparalleled downtown living experience. Classic City Flats is excited to deliver luxury apartments that set the new standard of sophisticated living in Athens, Georgia. Classic City Flats, redefining your horizon of living. Farmburger is defined by its mission, its farms, its team, and its family. In 2008, our co-founders gathered around a single idea: redefine the burger by bringing together a community of ranchers, farmers, chefs, restaurateurs, and eaters. Our promise is to strive every day and with every burger to uphold these core values to each and every one of you. We do that by holding ourselves to a higher standard. Grass-fed and grass-finished, that means our cattle are never fed grain. Our belief feeds our mission, and our mission is to feed you. Often enough, when you see a player go down, you see a team kind of rally around that event. The Rock Lobsters had Michael Greco go down, and it might be difficult to do so because Michael Greco is such an energy guy. He adds so much to this lineup in creating extra space on the ice and also some energy in the team with his hits. Great backhand feed from Milan, but Russell gets cut out. Russell able to redeem himself. Weisblatt trips on the puck. Milan back to Russell at the line. Russell getting paired here with Shinkarik. We're going to see some mixing around here with the D pairs. Lukarioff dubbed himself Danny Dangles with a tremendous highlight reel goal last night. Puck pinned out on the far side. Milan gets it free. Weisblatt from long range took a piece of the skate of Russell. Hlavak deals with the pressure and finds a great pass up the left side. Toe drag attempt there from Daly. But Kyle Russell fighting for everything that he's got. A little slip there from the Bobcats. Slager's unable to get the kind of movement he wanted to because of that trip. Klinecki with a shot. Misses wide to the left. Milan chops it away from Slagers. Picked back up on the Blue Ridge blue line. Klinecki. A pass right through the middle of the neutral zone. Trying to look for Devin Sanders. Lukarioff. Some good runs being made here by the Rock Lobsters. Ronan has Picard behind him. Try to wrap around the net with it. Klinecki takes it away. Slager's trying to finish the job. Running with a good hit, though. Trying to win it back. Able to avoid going down on all fours. Picard with two on him. Gets it back toward the end boards for Ronan. Slager's playing some great D in this game thus far. Making life miserable for Ronan. Centering pass through the skates of Picard. And the Rock Lobsters have to regather. Ooh, a good chance there. Reller was going hard towards the net on a pass that Connor Green didn't get a great view of. Blue Ridge ices it past Josh Rosenzweig. Quick chance here to thank some of our sponsors. Athens Area Urology. You're in good hands with Athens Area Urology. Plumber Pro, Hospitality South, Athens Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Classic City Flats, Harmon Enterprises, and Roto-Rooter. Malik Johnson, a rare face-off for him here. Radchenko comes away with it. Takes a couple pokes from Johnson. Been impressed in this series thus far with the Bobcats' ability to move out of their own zone. Puck movement's been good. Hasn't always been good in the offensive zone of the ice, but they've done a good job at really avoiding getting pinned in by the Rock Lobster forecheck. A little bit of a forecheck of the Bobcats' own, and Utoro's shot gets saved by Rosenzweig. Face off to the left of Josh Rosenzweig here. Good face-off win from the Rock Lobsters. Might spring a little bit of momentum the other way, but wow, a great defensive play there from Justin Daly. The Minnesotan taking the puck away from Gallant, dumped back in by Blue Ridge. Shinkarik, backhand shot to the near side. Tight angle shot, Hlavak. Save from Rosenzweig. 6:57 left here in the first period. Game still looking for its first notch. So a good opportunity for Blue Ridge in this game. Nicholas McHugh trying to score the first Blue Ridge goal for the second consecutive night. Of course, in other news, Michael Greco takes a block shot off the lower extremities and had to take a trip to the locker room, and hopefully we can see Greco at some point, if not tonight, some point soon here with the games that need to be played in the near future for the Rock Lobsters. Another 3-game set next weekend, taking on the Monroe Moccasins. Blue Ridge with 12 shots on goal compared to the Rock Lobsters 6, but a centering pass from Virgili almost finds Milan. Another great save from Connor Green. A pad attempt this time, stuffing out Milan on what is usually a 1-2-3 goal for the Rock Lobsters number 10. Trying to backhand it off of Rosenzweig's gear was Hlavak. Good European presence for this Blue Ridge team. Take a look at Radchenko, Romanow, Hlavak. Of course, Verostek, their tremendous goaltender, who was a big reason that Blue Ridge has won as many games as they have this season. But Verostek now in the SPHL with the Knoxville Ice Bears. Cole Atarsi gathering speed. Great centering pass. Finds Hunter Alden from Brandon Picard. Alden with a long-range shot. We're seeing Alden take those shot attempts more and more. Alden so often looking for the extra pass. No extra pass to be found there, and he tries to test Green with his shot. This line stays out in Picard, Alden, and Reller. Reller, our Fan Saves Impact Player of the game. Little poke in from Vlasov. That makes the icing impossible. Russell getting into it there with Hunter Hall. And then Reller the other way. Reller, a centering floater, finds Russell. Great shot from the slot and a great playmake there from Reller. Norwinski around, intercepted by Johnson. Johnson with a little tilt-a-whirl. He gets taken down by Hall, and the Rock Lobsters will be the first team tonight to go to the power play. And if the Rock Lobsters score on the quadruple P, the Paloma Park power play, they can earn fans $3 tacos at Paloma Park for 24 hours through the Fan Saves app. And look at all the mascots we have here. It's a little bit of an initiation here. See, we've got the dogs represented. We've got the Gwinnett Stripers represented. Welcoming in the Peach State's newest mascot, Claudius, for the Athens Rock Lobsters. Rock Lobsters, let's see how they look on the power play. Scored 1 last night. Shinkarik back to Milan, who loads up the slapper. And that one took a piece of Ernst, brings him down on the ice, and he's hurting. Gets back to his feet, though, and the Bobcats clear out. Shinkarik, the quarterback of this Rock Lobster power play. Weisblatt back to Shinkarik. Another deflected shot into the glass in the far corner. One-time clearance out. Play there by Nicholas McHugh. Already 45 seconds shaved off of this man advantage by Blue Ridge. Gabe asked in the chat who is the Blue Ridge goalie tonight. It is Connor Green, who's back from his loan from Fayetteville in the SPHL. Had to come back after the injury last night in warm-ups to Marshall Murphy. Milan in the corner. Shinkarik with a slapper, a laser that just misses wide. Gallant tries to sweep it through Virgili, gets the centering pass from the Canadian Shinkarik. Right back to Milan. Shinkarik with a slapper. Swallowed up save there from Connor Green. A lot of Canadian presence on this power play for the Rock Lobsters. You take a look at Gallant, Shinkarik, Weisblatt, Milan. All Canadians. I wonder if the chemistry between Milan and Shinkarik has anything to do with their BC roots. British Columbia, that is. We're going to take a quick second here to remind you that this broadcast of the Athens Rock Lobsters is brought to you by Piedmont Athens Regional. Real change lives here. Akins Ford is the largest Ford dealership in Georgia. If you're going to trust anyone, why not trust the biggest and the best? Stanfield Air Systems, we've spent the last 50 years fulfilling Athens' HVAC needs. First American Bank and Trust, we specialize in you. Terrapin Beer Company, do the right thing, always. A very, very quick commercial break. We'll be back to you after this. There's only one place you can deck yourself out and represent Athens' first ever pro hockey team, the Rock Lobsters. Head to shop.rocklobstershockey.com to get your hats, shirts, and even jerseys now. A reminder, 40% off on the Rock Lobster shop website. You've only got less than 24 hours now to get in on that action. And that's not action that you're going to want to miss. Speaking of action, the Rock Lobsters on the power play on the tripping call against Hunter Hall. Rock Lobsters with a golden opportunity here, despite being down in shots on goal, to try and take the lead in this game. Here comes Radcheko taking it away with it. Bobcats trying to make something happen. Short-handed, Daly with a shot. Squeezing the pads together as Rosenzweig. Kolatarsi dealing with the pressure. Glukaryov. Danny dangles into the zone. Left circle, centering pass. Malik Johnson with a backhander had two bites at the cherry. Russell, one-time pass back to Kolatarsi. Feeds it back to his fellow D-man. Picard. Both teams back at full strength. Picard, glove save, puck still loose out in front. Malik Johnson can't bury it. Great goaltending there by Green, making his return after a short-lived spell in the SPHL. Puck buried into the zone by Picard. Johnson and Glukaryov trying to combine in the corner. Puck being chased in there by Stuckless. Robertson. Good play all around from the Bobcats. But it's been a goaltender display here for the ages between Green and Rosenzweig. Left circle. Stuckless. Centering pass only finds Robertson. Here comes Reller. Return to Robertson, never made it to Riley. Puck right on the Lobster. Vlasov trying to take it all the way. Rosenzweig watches it go high and wide. into the netting behind. Robertson unable to take the puck with him initially, then backhands it to Shinkarik. It's through Robertson. Shinkarik. Reller backhanding it towards his bench. Picked back up by McHugh on the left side. He's had one of the best scoring chances in this game. Rock Lobsters, a 3-on-2 with Shinkarik leading the drive. Drops it to the right side for Reller. Sanders now with a chance of his own, but poked away from him by Garcia. Garcia, a couple great defensive plays there. Was looking to get a touch of it on Reller, instead ices the puck. Only 1 minute and 26 seconds left in this first period. The Bobcats with a 14-11 shot on goal advantage, but no shot has tickled the twine as of just yet. Another offensive zone draw here for the Bobcats. The start of this game reminiscent, honestly, to the 3-0 Blue Ridge win on Friday. Let's see if the Rock Lobsters can twist the narrative. Bobcats tight angle shot. Rosenzweig able to hug the post. Back to the line, sent back in by Hlavak. Taken by the other 14 for the Rock Lobsters, Shinkarik. Long-range shot sent the way of Rosenzweig. Hlavak picks it up on the right side. Hunter Hall with a shot into traffic, but it hits all the cars parked out in front. Hunter Hall in the neutral zone. Backhand feed in. Shinkarik taking it back to his happy place behind the Rock Lobster net. Directing traffic a little bit. He wants a little spin around. To Milan. Do the Rock Lobsters have a buzzer beater in them in this first period? Who knows? Andrioli and Hall might have one. Try to go 1-2, 1-2. Not the right move. Danny Dangles backhanded into the near side. Tying up in the corner. Bobcats come away with the puck. 15 seconds to go. McHugh, the man from Ottawa, still has it. Kyle Russell playing some hard defense on him, though. 5 seconds to go. Blue Ridge trying to do everything they can to center a pass and get a shot off, but it's not going to happen. The Bobcats take the advantage in shots on goal through the first period at 15-12 in a first period that's reminiscent of their 3-0 win Friday. But the Rock Lobsters able to keep the puck out, as is Connor Green on the other side for the Bobcats. After the game Friday, I had a chance to talk with Steve Martinson. We were both in our hotel room to talk about the next two games to come, including last night, that 5-3 win for the Rock Lobsters against the Bobcats in Wytheville. So keep that in mind when listening to this interview. But here is my talk with head coach Steve Martinson just yesterday afternoon. Voice of the Rock Lobsters, Matt Rad here with a special Saturday pregame Coach's Corner. My guest, as always, is head coach Steve Martinson. Both of us are in the hotel, but Coach Marty was nice enough to do it on the video call. Just makes the management of the video element a little bit easier. Well, anyway, Coach, we have two games to talk about, and I'm sure there's different feelings for both games. First, on Wednesday night, was the most decisive win we've had against Columbus this season. It felt like the game was won after that 4-goal first period. We've been doing well against the River Dragons as of late, but how good did it feel to really take the bragging rights with that one?
Yeah, well, we needed that. I mean, we were close with them in the standings a month ago, so we needed the 4 games, I guess, that we played against them and had done well. Yeah, that game's a lot more fun to talk about than last night's game, so good that we started on that. Yeah, but a great first period. The difference really between last night and we were just shooting the puck a little better. So we shot the puck really well. We had a lot of pucks going in the net, a lot of traffic to the net. So, yeah, it was a fun game. It's always nice when you get a big lead in the first. The odds are you're not giving up. I mean, it's hard for a team to come back and score 4 goals when you get a 3-goal lead. because it isn't like you're going to stop scoring. So yeah, it's good rivalry too, being really our number one rivals.
It was Danil Glukaryov who started out the game with its first 2 goals. I remember us talking about Danny if he was going to be able to adapt to the North American game, but that feels way in the past now. I'm actually more curious on your thoughts of Danny's ability to adapt off the ice. Every time I see him, his English is getting better and better, and he had perhaps the most memorable post-game interview of the season after that Columbus win. Can you talk about how Danny's getting along off the ice?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't spend a lot of time, away from the rink with the players. That's maybe something more. He lives with Malik and with Garrett, so he's living with 2 of the veteran guys, and I think they really embraced him and taken him under the wing. They all played together for a while, but yeah, I mean he's done a tremendous job. And even from the very get go, he was physical and really, I noticed that he liked the battle. He finished his checks. And then the other thing that, that I really noticed is he gets the puck to Garrett. Like he knows, he can carry the puck, but he knows our best puck carrier is Garrett. So he gets the puck to Milan and then he goes to the net and, he makes really good plays. So those 2 really have been, a great combination.
Do you feel like Danny was a really important piece to have when Orca went down? I don't think they're like for like exactly, but maybe similar profiles in the way they play the game.
Yeah, they both. I mean, Orca's probably a little bit more physical. I mean, Orca finishes every check. Orca gets more hits than anybody. But a lot. He plays a lot. He plays against the other team's first line, so he gets a lot of hits in against the other team's best players, and so that line complements each other well. When you're playing head to head, you can do that when you have physical guys, and they're all physical guys. So our first 2 lines, I think, match up well when you're playing, skill against skill because you've got guys on every line that hit.
Kason Gallant racked up another power play goal in that game as well. He's one of only 2 FBHL players to log double-digit goals on the power play this season. Is it just the quality of Kason's shot that makes him so dangerous on the man advantage, or is there more to it than that?
Well, he's out there with 5 pretty good players on the man advantage. I mean, our number 1 power play, I mean, is pretty. It's got a lot of talent. It's got a lot of firepower on it. So, yeah, I mean, he's just got a good shot, and he gets open, and he's a gritty guy, and so him, going back to Danny, really when you have a new team like we did, a first year team, it's hard to get everything that you want because you're, you've got to take what you can get to start. And so really, Gallant and Danny have given us a couple of rookies that, kind of, you weren't sure what you're going to get out of them. And, they've turned out to be top players in the league. So those guys have been a big bonus for us. And, they're kind of, one of the reasons that we're doing well. And I had that conversation with Phil, and I talked at the beginning of the year, a lot about Gallant and that, we needed him to be, the goal scorer that he was in college. And so, him and Phil play together basically all year. And they've got a great relationship. Phil's like the older brother, from another mother. So those guys have been a great combination too.
Well, Phil's actually next on my list to talk about. He got in on the fun as well. And while he was on the ice with Orca and Danny for his goal, you talked about it a little bit. It feels like if you've created 2 of the best lines in this league. We've talked a lot about the success of the first line lately with Garrett, Orca, and Danny, but it feels like there's a lot of similarities in what makes those 2 lines good. Can you talk about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're not missing anything. They got guys that can carry the puck. They got net front guys. They got guys that finish the checks, and they have great speed. So, they're hard to handle. And unfortunately, last night, we just didn't shoot the puck as well. We had our opportunities, and, we had a couple of mistakes. We gave up the 2-on-1 was too easy to play off face-off. We just, our forward didn't pick up as the D pinch, which the D's got a pinch on a when they're doing the wraparound. So, Yeah, I mean, we've got, we've got two lines that can score anytime, and our third line, I think, has its moments. And I mean, they've got to be more consistent. And part of it for them is they get a little bit out of a rhythm because power play and penalty kill. So, but they got to figure out a way to to be ready to go. And I think we can get more out of that line.
You brought something up about the depth guys that we're going to touch on a little bit more in a second, but there's a real dichotomy of feeling after that big win against Columbus and then last night's game, a 3-0 loss against the Blue Ridge Bobcats here in Wytheville, Virginia. It's an end to a couple of runs for the Rock Lobsters. A 10-game win streak comes to an end. Only 2 other teams have achieved that. It also marks the first time the team has been shut out this season. The second period was the important one. 2 goals, 50 seconds apart from the Bobcats. How difficult was it to come back after that start to the middle period?
Well, I mean, we didn't come back. I mean, I don't think we got outplayed, but we got beat. And unfortunately, I mean, I would rather lose that way. The shutout, I mean, I don't really, we just weren't scoring. We weren't finishing it. We weren't shooting the puck very good. And there's about 5 or 6 times that we needed to get more traffic to the net where guys were on the perimeter. And the big thing that I'm going to talk about tonight is, you don't know how many scoring chances you're going to get, and you can't be behind the net. You can't let the defenseman push it aside. We got to get traffic to the front and, get in the goalie's face. That goalie hasn't played much this year. So, yeah, to me, that was the big thing that we've got to improve on. Like I said, I thought we had plenty of chances. We just shot the puck into them. And that's kind of been our, when we're not scoring a lot, it isn't that we're not getting our chances. We're just not shooting the puck good enough. And or you can say, well, the goalie's having a big night, but I just didn't think that we shot the puck as well as we can.
You brought him up. It's just a crazy story in the other crease for the Bobcats. Gregory Hussey makes his return to their organization. He hasn't played a game in nearly 4 months. We hear it in the sport of hockey a lot, but what do you think about the idea of a team kind of rallying around a goalie, and do you think that's what happened last night?
Well, you can do that short term. I mean, anytime you get a big player or, a big change in the lineup, it's I don't know what they call it from a psychological standpoint. There's a name for it. But you can rise up in the short term. You can't keep that in the long term if the player's out, indefinitely, but you can get your guys to maybe step up and go a little bit above their, you'll never hear me say 110% or 120% to me. You're going all out or, and that's 100%. So, sometimes things go really well. And, like that game that we lost in Danville earlier in the year, we didn't get as many scoring chances in this game. We didn't have the post and the pucks off his head, but we had plenty of opportunity to score. And it's one thing that you have to take from this is you got to make sure that when you're in a position to score, you do everything that you can. And that's what I mean. The biggest thing is getting bodies to the front. And when you're in front, some guys do a better job of screening. And we've had guys actually step out of the way and, as if they're going to tip the puck. But I would rather tip with a screen than be on the side of the net and tip without a screen.
I think you have a more level-headed approach during the game than maybe your players do. Do you think it's difficult for players to not try and force things when they're going up against a goalie who's having a good night?
I mean, I guess you could look at that as that gets to be something that maybe they're thinking about, but it doesn't happen that much to us, so it's not something I'm going to dwell on. I mean, we typically score a lot of goals, and sometimes, and I've said it before, sometimes you run into a hot goalie, and the goalie was, like I said, he was pumped and maybe playing above his normal game, but like I said, I don't think we tested him enough, and we got to learn from that, and you just can't put your skates on and go out, but we traveled the day of the game, so we had a 5-hour bus trip, and we came in the morning, and we tried that, and usually if you get through the first period with that, then you're good to go, but we had that slow start in the second.
We had the shooting advantage on the night at 36-33, and you've talked about it a little bit, but when you see a number like that, but then a 0 on the scoreboard, what does that tell you about what you need to go and do to make those shooting opportunities a little bit more higher percentage in their chances to score?
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, you've got to, part of it, it sounds kind of, kind of stupid to say you got to shoot the puck better, and we did a lot of little extra shooting this week, and I think it was Tuesday. We really just shot the puck. We did drills that were just shooting and escape and turning with speed drills. So we were just really just shooting the puck. And the reason I was doing that is because, we get a lot of shots and we got to dial it in. And last night we didn't do that, and it cost us the game. I mean, with every game we give up only 2 goals. We should be able to do that in every game that we play. So, but that's the way you play the game. You just, like I said, you can't just put your skates on and expect to get your A game.
So much of our success during that 10-game win spell and for nearly all of the season is based on our ability to enter the zone and either set up shop or take the puck to the net. It seemed like they did a good job, Blue Ridge did, at stopping our momentum at the blue line.
Yeah.
What do you...
Yeah, and I thought they did it. They really played hard. They really came back and collapsed. They played all out. They came back and, we're not sneaking up on anybody. They know they're playing with the top team. We're the number 1 winning team percentage-wise, going into the game last night. So they know they got to bring their best game, and they did. And, we didn't bring our best game. And you can win games sometimes when you have a lot of talent and you don't play your best game. But like I said, you're not going to win any games if you're not scoring a goal.
Every team is going to have an off night. If anything, are you glad that this loss in this style came after that 10-game run, so you kind of have an example to point to and on how to recapture that magic?
Yeah, so I'm really just going to talk about tonight with the guys of what we can do to maximize our chances. I'm not gonna stress too much about, 1 loss and I think we've had 2 losses in maybe 18 games or something. It isn't like, like I said, it isn't like we didn't play bad. It isn't like we didn't compete. We just made a couple of mistakes and, they scored on them and they had a screen and we didn't, our forward got caught going to the point and the other one started to make up for him, but they didn't switch and, the defenseman had too much time with nobody fronting him, and so there was a screen and ended up in the net. So, tonight, we just got to make sure that we approach the game and understand that, we might not get as many scoring chances. They're really competing hard defensively, and we got to make sure that we got traffic in front. Like I said, we got to get to those greasy areas, and we didn't do that. We did it, a lot, but not enough. It wasn't like we weren't doing it at all. It's not like a panic button, but to me, it's an example is you got to take advantage of every opportunity and make sure you give yourself the best chance, to have that puck in the back of the net.
When the top guys get shut down, sometimes you need unexpected heroes, and that feels like kind of what you got in Danville against the Dashers in some of those games. Of course, you want to see your top guys get back on the score sheet tonight, but are you hoping for more of a spark from your depth guys as well?
Well, yeah, and part of it is, who they're playing against. And, we want every line to outplay the line that they're playing against. That's something that we're looking to do, whether it's the first line or the second line or the third line. We feel like our third line is going to be better than the other team's third line, and there's no reason that they can't be on the board. We got guys, and all those guys have been either top scorers on teams that they came from or have scored goals in this league, and made plays. So there's more pressure on them. I think when the other lines aren't going, they want to contribute and more than just, playing the game. So you're right about that. Getting our depth to contribute when we need them is a key component to winning. And, like I said, we had that in Danville, but, could have used it last night.
I know you well, and you're someone that wants to go and win every game. You don't concern yourself with the storylines. Only the points and the standings matter to you. But with the potential rubber match planned for back home on Sunday night, how important is getting the W in Wytheville tonight?
Well, it's one of the things that you want to do when you lose a game. You bounce back. You play. You don't lose 2 in a row. The top teams never lose 2 in a row, and it's something that we haven't. We've got to make sure. I'm going to talk about it, but we got to make sure we understand. We got to bring our A game tonight. And like I said, there's no excuses. We're not getting off the bus and playing, and everybody's had a good night's sleep, and everybody's, and we had an easy day today. We didn't have a morning skate with 3-3. So we've got to step up and be ready to go tonight.
There hasn't been a ton of games like it this season, but when the first game of a road trip is a loss and you're in the hotel in preparation for the next game, what does your preparation look like? Do you go hit the game film?
I look at video at the game, and if there's something that I want to show guys, I do. If not, I'll talk about things. But tonight I have, I think I've got 7 or 8 clips that I'm going to show the forwards where we could have done more to get to the right place in front. Or, we win the draw and the forward lets their forward rush right out to the point, and that's a frustrating thing because we talk about that all the time, what we're doing off the faceoffs. And I noticed some of them we won clean, and the forward's going to the front of the net, but you got to get a little pick. You got to get a little pick on the guy going before you go to the net, and those are the little things that add up, making a play.
Real quick, we can look ahead. Sunday, a home game, and then the next weekend we welcome Monroe in for a home series, 3 games. How excited with all the games that you've played in Monroe this season to welcome the Moccasins to Akins Ford Arena?
Yeah, we've got issues with those guys, but it'd be, it's those guys really got to win. They're in trouble to make the playoffs, so they got to come in and every game to them should be important. And like I said, same with us. We want home ice advantage throughout the playoffs as much as that we can control. So we got to make sure that we keep playing and keep winning.
Well, Rock Lobster fans, we're back here at Akins Ford Arena. No score through the first 20 minutes. But I was well prepared today coming into the building for Claudius's birthday. As you can see, I have my newly purchased lobster tie that I will be sporting for a lot of the rest of the season here. Very excited about that purchase and very excited about what can remain of this game. The Rock Lobsters need to be careful because I do think the Bobcats were the better team through the first 20 minutes. When that was the case on Friday, the Bobcats used that energy going into the second period to score 2 quick goals in the first couple of minutes. The Rock Lobsters need to be locked down here, and they need to start looking more fluid going from the neutral ice into the offensive zone. Let's see if they can do that going into the second period. The shots on goal tally was changed. I talked to the head statistician here. So shots on goal, 14-12 in favor of the Bobcats. I want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. 255 of you watching from all over the nation and really from other nations as well. I know Tammy's watching from Red Deer. 20 minutes put on the clock. Both teams looking for the game's first tally. I think the good thing for the Rock Lobsters is they really grew into that first period as it went on. Look at Malik Johnson here, taking the opening draw and winning it. Malik Johnson, someone that we've seen a lot this season on the wing, but Philip Virgili and Johnson switching places there. Gallant tries a centering pass from behind the net. Then turns around trying to find Malik Johnson. Something about this Bobcat team, they're doing a great job at limiting tape-to-tape passes from the Rock Lobsters. Not only in this game, but throughout the 3-game set. But it's all about limiting those runs if you're the Rock Lobsters. They were able to do so through the first period on Friday, but ended up falling in that game. They were able to do so until they find themselves in a 5-0 lead on Saturday. And then we had that late-staged comeback attempt by Blue Ridge, which was stopped short of the mark. Face-off win for the Bobcats, and a slapper from Klinecki stings the palm of Rosenzweig. Malik Johnson playing without a stick, has to play it back with his skate, and he gets a new twig from the bench. Johnson a bit isolated, almost a mispass there, but good movement once again out of their own zone. That's been a point of success for Blue Ridge in this game. Quick turnaround, tight angle shot, no go there for Furseth. Here he is again, centering pass. Devin Sanders steps on the brakes. Return pass into the near boards, back at the blue line, kept in. Sanders working from left to center, finds Slagers, and that one finds the back of the net. We redirect your attention to the ice. The redirection shot from Vlasov puts the Bobcats up 1-0. It is definitely feeling like deja vu from Friday night in Wytheville. Not much that Rosenzweig can do with that short distance redirection from Vlasov. We'll see if that's who gets credited with the goal. Riley Robertson picks it up behind Rosenzweig. Sweeps it back for Shinkarik. Centering pass, Milan has to cut it out. Weisblatt back to Robertson. Pokes it through, Shinkarik. Bobbed right back to Robertson. Pocket pick, a very creative chance there from Justin Daly. Looking for the top corner on the turnaround. Rock Lobsters in a place where they need to wake up now. I think the stat team is still trying to figure out who scored that opening goal. Still nothing yet on the Federal Hockey website. Utoro grabbing his face as he goes down. Robertson tying up there with Hall. Utoro grabbing at his lip. And it looks like Utoro's going off. We'll see if we can get another look here. Robertson tying up there with Hall. Just going to get a look at the play, though, of what brought Utoro down to the ice. Looks like Shinkarik will also join him in the box, though. So Utoro and Shinkarik into the box. Philip Virgili and Matthew Ernst getting explanation from the officials. We'll skate, I believe, at 4-piece. Still not sure what brought Utoro down there. He immediately started to grab toward his lip. I think the Rock Lobsters were convinced that he was trying to sell or simulate something. Let's check back on the scoring summary on the Federal Hockey website. It is indeed Vlasov with apples from Slagers and Sanders. That is the difference maker in this one thus far. It feels like an answer, a response is imperative from the Rock Lobsters. That was what they were unable to find Friday night in Wytheville. Play with the glove necessary from Sanders as the faceoff pops up on him. Milan, Glukaryov, Kolatarsi, and Russell on for the Rock Lobsters on this 4-on-4. Shinkarik 2 for roughing. Great foray to the net there from Utoro. Gets cut out. Sanders back behind the net. Right circle shot attempt. Whiffing on it was Halavak. Here he is again. Right off the red line, shot from the right circle. Sanders trying to send it back into the crease. He's surrounded by two. Glukaryov dancing away with it. Oh, a whiff on a pass. Turnaround chance, Daly. Kolatarsi now able to get it away. Dangerous play there from Kolatarsi, but the Rock Lobsters able to keep it out of the net. Now here comes Glukaryov. Can he turn into Danny Dangles once again? Trying to put one right in front of Milan. Milan still has the puck, though. Toe drag. Can't get the shot off. He's impeded illegally, and Josh Rosenzweig going to the bench. Rosenzweig plays the puck himself. Net is empty with the Rock Lobsters about to go on the power play. Meanwhile, 25 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Virgili feeds Milan. A good move, trying to stick it in, pulling the goaltender out of the crease. A margin of millimeters kept Milan from equalizing the score. But we'll have 16 seconds of 4-on-3 between these two teams. Rock Lobsters heading to the Paloma Park power play, their second of the game. A slash called against Nicholas Stucklis, who stuck his stick in the wrong place. So it'll be 16 seconds of 4-on-4, and then a minute 44 of 5-on-4. Rather, 4-on-3, 16 seconds of 4-on-3, and then a minute 44 of 5-on-4. There we go. Second time's a charm. Weisblatt loads up for Gallant. And seeming like deja vu here, we have a Bobcat this time who's hurting from a block shot. Block shots shared between the two teams. We've got a lot of some not so great looking ankles out there because of these block shots. Malik Johnson trying to joust for the faceoff. He wins it, but it sends Milan into neutral ice. Shinkarik. 5-on-4 now happening for the Rock Lobsters. So Shinkarik's back on the ice. Here he is on the left side of the line. Feeds Milan in the right circle. Milan. Virgili. His office right behind the net. Milan tries the shot. That one took a piece of the pad of Green. Sent back in. Weisblatt takes a spill. Still finds Gallant. And missing a stick is one of the Bobcats on this penalty kill. Effectively a 5-on-3 here. Shinkarik to the right side for Milan. A slapper. Sent right back to him. Circle-to-circle pass to Gallant back at the line for Shinkarik. One-time pass, Gallant gets cut out, and Milan has to fetch it back in neutral ice. 1 minute to go on the man advantage. Milan trying to find a route, finds Gallant. Shinkarik with a laser of a slapper, another great save from Green. Connor Green trying to eke out his first win of the FPHL season, currently 0-4-2. Rock Lobsters with 44 seconds of power play time left. Let's see if they can log their equalizer after this commercial break. UGA football player Amarius Mims suffered a serious injury. The quality care from the Piedmont team changed his life.
As a football player, my body is everything to me.
When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Rock Lobsters down 1-0 thanks to the redirection from Vlasov, his 10th of the year. 10 goals and 10 assists for the Russian. Rock Lobsters with a chance to equalize, though, on the power play, but just 44 seconds left on the man advantage. Shots on goal now in favor of Blue Ridge, 16-12. We're seeing Malik Johnson deployed in the faceoff circle a lot tonight. Surprised to see so on the power play. Milan takes his place and wins it. Gallant back to Shinkarik. Gallant working right off of the left circle. Shinkarik, the quarterback, trying to find the window to send a shot into. Virgili created his own window last night. Window comes for Shinkarik. Another squeezing save from Green. Something about these goaltenders for Blue Ridge as of late. Gregory Hussey, his first game in 4 months for the Bobcats, able to shut out the Rock Lobsters, a first goaltender to do that against Athens this season. And then Connor Green having a great performance thus far. He's stopped 14. Time running out on the power play. Lavak spills out behind the net. Shinkarik does just enough to keep it in. Milan up the right side. Virgili. This is exactly where he scored yesterday. Instead, he finds a turnaround pass. Milan. Shinkarik with another laser. Batted up high. That finds a way to not go in. The defenseman on this penalty kill for Blue Ridge does just enough. They kill the penalty, and both teams skating back at 5 apiece. Stuckless. Drop pass finds Milan. Milan trying to send it long. Stopped by Hlavak. Rosenzweig leaves it for Shinkarik. Shinkarik to Kolatarsi on the left side. We've seen all kinds of combinations on the defensive pairing as the Rock Lobsters ice the puck. Of course, Michael Greco left the game early after stopping a puck with his lower extremity, and we have not seen his return since. Obviously, you hope the best for Michael Greco, an important piece of the Rock Lobster defensive core. Defensive core that needs to be tight for the rest of this game, already finding themselves down 1-0. Ooh, a dragged shot just high there from Hlavak. Sometimes when you see shots like that, though, it springs the other team the other way. Is that happening right here for the Rock Lobsters? Weisblatt takes a shove, works his way to the high slot, then the circle, a wrist shot right into the midsection of Green. We heard Steve Martinson in our coach's corner say, it sounds stupid, but sometimes you just have to shoot the puck better. It feels like right now all the shots from the Rock Lobsters going right at Green. Glukharov out of the face-off win from Picard. I went off a skate, almost fell for Johnson. Garcia. Bank pass, finds Johnson. Johnson with speed, centering pass towards Glukharov. Johnson with Glukharov and Picard here, a new look line. Rosenzweig plays it himself into the neutral ice. Not long enough to be an icing. Radchenko takes a hit in the corner, still gets the pass off in between his legs. Shinkarik right on the Lobster. So good at going where the pressure isn't. Garcia. Dumped in, played by Green. No look backhander for Radchenko. Patient here, the approach from the Bobcats, and right as I say that, they ice the puck. Through the first 8 minutes and 10 seconds, Rock Lobsters down 1-0. Vlasov on the redirection from the Joshua Slager's shot. That's the difference maker in this one. Rock Lobsters trying to find a response. So far in this series, the first team to score has been the team to win. Rock Lobsters trying to buck the trend. Robertson up the right side. Brendan Ronan got a touch to it, no icing. Norwinski in behind him, cut out by Ronan. Brendan Ronan trying to make a difference here. He's been the 10th skater for these 3 lines. So trying to make the most of his opportunity when they come to him. Alden over the dot. He wins it for Ronan. Alden goes backhand, forehand, but can't tickle the twine past Green. Klinecki gets a touch. Tries to one-time it after regathering his loose touch of the puck. Slagers. Stuckless going through the center of his own blue line and takes it in himself. Good dangle from Stuckless, but a good poke from Riley Robertson takes it away from him. For Rosyth. Into the near side corner. Robertson with a no-hold bear hug. Ooh, awkward deflection just wide of Rosenzweig, though. Glukarioff trying to send Milan on a trip. Bounces right under his blade. Tries to do some defensive work with his stick, but can't shake it loose. And this time it's the Bobcats who ice. Rock Lobsters getting closer on the shot on goal tally. Right now the scoreboard reads 18-17 in favor of Blue Ridge. Milan with a good face-off win. It's banked to Kolatarsi. Long-range shot. Hits the traffic out in front. Kolatarsi regathers. Played with a skate of Milan. Pirouette from him. No-look pass. Glukarioff on the right side. Kolatarsi loads up a shot. Once again, right into the middle of Green's jersey. Shots now even at 18-18. Clock stops at 10:13. Rock Lobsters will have another offensive zone face-off. Malik Johnson being trusted over the dot a lot today, and he wins the face-off here. Shinkarik loads up just wide left. Poked into the corner, Johnson. Carter Shinkarik has shown off his shot power tonight. But he would love to show off his goal celebration as well, and Shinkarik tries to poke it up the left side, and Johnson takes one right in the face. Malik Johnson right back to his feet, though, to the applause of the Akins Ford Arena faithful. We're going to go to a commercial break here. Good to see Malik Johnson back up to his feet quickly. Happy birthday, Claudius. We go to a commercial break. Rock Lobsters down 1-0 against the Bobcats. Classic City Flats is a brand new apartment community in Athens, Georgia that redefines luxury living, offering a sleek and contemporary living experience. Our impeccably designed apartment homes boast sophisticated interiors, premium amenities, and exquisite finishes, providing residents with an unparalleled downtown living experience. Classic City Flats is excited to deliver luxury apartments that set the new standard of sophisticated living in Athens, Georgia. Classic City Flats, redefining your horizon of living.
Every business owner who's built a business wonders about their company's legacy. What's the path forward after they decide to take a step back? At the heart of every succession plan is a vision that safeguards hard-earned success. This isn't just paperwork. It's your roadmap, guiding a business during a change in ownership and detailing how ownership transitions and key financial decisions unfold. This instills a profound sense of pride, belonging, innovation, and commitment, ensuring a stable future for the company and a rewarding exit for you. Let's forge that path together.
Feels like Rock Lobsters have been woken up a little bit by that Vlasov redirection goal. They now have the shot on goal advantage at 19-18. And a chance there, Malik Johnson. Fresh off of coming off of a puck right into his face. Almost a chance for him. A puck bounces out in front of him in front of Green's net. Johnson on the face-off again. Johnson must be okay with head coach Steve Martinson sending him right back out after taking that hard black disc right to his face. Ooh, turnaround shot right into the side netting from Daly. Virgili. Around for Shinkarik. Shinkarik able to evade the slash there from Andrioli. Shinkarik still pad save. Green got a toe on it. Virgili can't keep it in, but it spills back out for Gallant. Johnson almost wins it back with the poke. Robertson banks it to Gallant. Johnson takes it in. Back to Gallant. Shot wide of the mark, and Gallant gets hit up high. He's holding the lip. Gallant in discomfort now. Unlucky night for the Rock Lobsters. But Virgili wins it back right out in front of Green. Picard with a shot. I think that one got saved by Green, then a shot from Picard on the right side. Kolatarsi through Russell, sent long. Friendly bounce means an icing for the Rock Lobsters, and they'll take the face-off back the length of the ice. Looks like Kason Gallant holding a rag to his face. I see him on the bench pleading his case to the referee, saying, how do you think this blood occurred if I wasn't hit up high with a stick? And it's a valid point. Russell. Milan from the right side of the blue line dangles in towards the center of the line. Back to Russell. Deflected shot into the end boards. Gets saved all the way back to him. Milan. Russell wants it back. Takes the shot himself. Takes a bounce off to the left side. Kolatarsi back into the end boards. Glukarioff with Picard and Milan here. Russell, a long-range effort. Floats, butterflies into the far corner. Glukarioff. Picard takes a spill, but from his knees finds the pass. Shinkarik. That went over the head of everybody. Lavak into Russell. Shinkarik, a great move at the line. Fires the shot wide. Puck's still loose out in front. Green can't find it. It's back to Russell. He loses his stick, does Green. Picard with a shot. That one being covered up by a defenseman in front of Green's net. And then a breakaway here for the Bobcats. Tight angle shot off the side netting from Sanders. Slapper, Klinecki deflects into the corner. The Rock Lobsters have the shot on goal advantage now, but the important number on the board still reads 1-0 in favor of the Bobcats. The offense here looking more motivated now after going down. The Rock Lobsters with some better chances. But once again, they find themselves against a goaltender that they feel that they cannot beat. Russell up the right, off the skate of Reller, who plays it like a back heel on a soccer ball. Reller trying to throw the body around, but the Bobcats still come away with the puck. Centering pass cut out by Ronan. Kolatarsi, good work with the stick. Right up the middle, and the pass just doesn't find Alden. Rock Lobsters having a difficult time trying to find that final pass. Alden will have the face-off here. Shots on goal still growing for the Rock Lobsters. Another icing here against the Bobcats. No, it's not. Rosenzweig has to play it. That's past Norwinski. Rock Lobsters trying to make the Bobcats pay from that misplay at the line. Toro with a dump in. Rosenzweig. Just a slight poke to help it on to the stick of Garcia. Ronan, Alden, and Reller on. Ronan and Reller will change off, though, for Gallant and Johnson. Good to see Gallant back after, I believe, taking a stick to the face. Want to know why he didn't get the call. He's freshly cleaned up, though, and here he is. Just helps it in between some skates, and Robertson finds Johnson on the left side. Good move towards the slot, trying to force it to Gallant to the right of Green's net. Robertson sends a rocket. Green trying to keep his head on a swivel. Missed pass there from the Rock Lobsters, and a high slot shot. Did not result in a Rosenzweig save. It's off the end boards all the way around. Gallant, did he keep that one in? Yes, he did. Johnson tries to return it, deflects to Virgili, though. Virgili, backhand feed to Shinkarik on the right side of the line. Fakes the shot. Gets met by Hlavak. We've got a penalty coming up here, drawn by Carter Shinkarik, and going against a Bobcat. Let's see who's going to the box. Looks like it's going to be Justin Daly with the slash on Shinkarik. When we come back, another Rock Lobster power play. They're 0 for 2 tonight, but a golden opportunity to tie things up at 1 apiece.
Farmburger is defined by its mission, its farms, its team, and its family. In 2008, our co-founders gathered around a single idea: redefine the burger by bringing together a community of ranchers, farmers, chefs, restaurateurs, and eaters. Our promise is to strive every day and with every burger to uphold these core values to each and every one of you. We do that by holding ourselves to a higher standard. Grass-fed and grass-finished, that means our cattle are never fed grain. Our belief feeds our mission, and our mission is to feed you.
Tonight we celebrate the birth of Claudius here at Akins Ford Arena. And let's see if the Rock Lobsters can light a fire that Claudius can blow out. In celebration, he'll make a wish for a Rock Lobster goal here. Looks like there's something that they're trying to iron out right in front of the Rock Lobster bench, the ice crew here. Oftentimes when you see something like this, it's blood that's getting scraped up. Not sure if that's what the case is here. Perhaps it's just a patch of shoddy ice that the Rock Lobsters are trying to have their crew come out and do some fixing on. That's delaying play just a little bit here, but Rock Lobsters about to go on the power play as Justin Daly committed a slash on Shinkarik. It's been a love-hate relationship for Steve Martinson and the Rock Lobster power play as of late. However, the stats are showing the uptick up the power play rankings in the FPHL. Earlier this month, they ranked as low as 11th out of 14 teams in the league, but they now rank right in the middle of the pack at 7, scoring on 20.9% of their power plays, the Rock Lobsters. Looks like the ice situation is settled. We see the Rock Lobster bench. Attention focused on the 5-man unit. Milan, Glukarioff, Virgili, Gallant, and Shinkirik. Rock Lobsters would love to have tied this thing up before going into the second intermission. Let's see what they do here. Shinkirik quarterbacking again. Milan at the right side. Virgili in his office. Milan feeds Shinkirik. That one spills out to the right. Sent back in by Glukarioff. Sprawling and getting it is Green. It's really brought my Blue Ridge colleague to his feet. We'll do the face-off again. Still just 16 seconds shaved off the power play. Shinkirik rides the line with a pass to Glukarioff on the left side. Glukarioff back to the captain, Garrett Milan, with a slapper. Squeezing the pads together was Green. Shinkirik puts a stop to it. Fakes the slapper, gets the pass back, then does slap it. Connor Green, he's been equal to everything. The shot on goal tally continues to go up in favor of the Rock Lobsters, 25-20 now. Rock Lobsters are doing a good job at getting some scoring opportunities in a quick amount of time. Still a minute 23 to go on this power play. Shinkirik, backhand flip, Milan into the corner for Virgili. Virgili, right circle. Milan takes his place, tries to center a pass, cut out. Diving block there from Ernst. Shinkirik at the line. Shinkirik lulling them to sleep. Gallant. Shinkirik again. Virgili. Good centering pass. Glukarioff, and another great save from Green. And all of a sudden things boiling over here. Kason Gallant still frustrated from that stick he took to the face earlier. He wants to get in on the action. I think there was a little bit of snow in Green's face, and the Bobcats took exception to it. You have to give Green his plaudits, though, showing off that lateral side-to-side movement. We'll take another look here. Looks like Gallant maybe took a poke in at Green. A tremendous performance thus far from Connor Green, and 49 seconds to go on this third power play of the night for the Rock Lobsters. They still don't have anything to show for it. Let's see if the Red Deer Rocket can direct some of that anger into a shot here. One of the best wrist shots in the league, and one of the best power play goal scorers in this league. Virgili, Milan trying to turn around. Puck loose out in the slot. Virgili can't cast a spell on it, and it's slapped out by the Bobcats. Shinkirik. Shinkirik dancing over the line, overskates it, poked out by Blue Ridge. Glukarioff. Virgili has Gallant to his left, finds him, Centering pass off his skate. Still able to seek Milan with that pass. Klinecki with a good work with his stick. Rock Lobster power play is over. Blue Ridge coming the other way. Good dangle into the zone. Trying to go forehand, backhand there was stickless. Josh Rosenzweig, I think, poked it away from him. A combination between him and Colatarsi. And thank God they did, because otherwise the Rock Lobsters would have found themselves 2-0 down once again against Blue Ridge. Pad save there on the shot from Sanders from Rosenzweig. Colatarsi down to a knee, still able to sweep it to the line. Stopped by Blue Ridge, though. Into traffic. Hit a Rock Lobster. 1 minute to play. A block shot there from Virgili. Rock Lobsters unable to clear their lines here, and the pressure is being heaped on by Blue Ridge. The officials blow the whistle. I think some pondering if it's offside. I think it actually went into the netting. Once again, the second period has been the Bobcats' strongest, counting Friday and tonight. Picard tries to push the face-off through. The Bobcats come away with it. Dumped into the near corner. Rosenzweig stops it. Little double pump there. Created some danger. Johnson with Picard and Reller now. 30 seconds to go in this second period. Blue Ridge with a 1-0 lead. Robertson. That went off the stick of Utoro. Here he is again, tries to get it out. Robertson stops it at the line, but right back at Utoro, who skates it out. Shot from the halfway line. Rosenzweig caught it up high. And that does it for action in the second period. The Bobcats able to take the momentum from the first period, just like Friday night, and score an early goal in the second. Vladislav Vlasov with a deflection on a Joshua Slager's shot. Happening just a minute 15 into the second period. The Rock Lobsters with shot after shot after shot. You might remember they went into the second period down on shots on goal, 14-12, but they outshoot the Bobcats 18-9 in the second period. However, it's Connor Green who is the potential first star of the night right now. A very, very good night for him. 30 saves through 2 periods, and he has stuffed the Rock Lobsters thus far. Well, he's been our featured interview of the week. We've talked about Orca Weisblatt and what he's brought since coming back from his injury and his surgery on his wrist. Here's my chat with Orca Weisblatt and his interesting upbringing.
Voice of the Rock Lobsters, Mattine Rad, back with another episode of Lobster Tales here on the Athens Rock Lobster Network. My guest today is a winger from Calgary, and his name is Orca Weisblatt. Orca, thanks so much for joining me today, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Listen, I wanted to get started with your season so far, and you've contributed at a high level in your time on the ice with the Rock Lobsters this season. Watching you as much as I have, you have such an all-around game, and you don't have a lot of chinks in your armor. No one knows your game as much as you. How would you describe your style of play?
Yeah, I think, I play a little bit of a different game than most people. I like to kind of slow the game down just a little bit. I like to think the game very, very well. I think for me, I'm more of a playmaker. So obviously, when you're playing with Millsy and Danny there, they can put the puck in the net. So it's fun for me to, be creative with my play style.
It's been so great to see you back on the ice after suffering an injury earlier on in the year against Monroe. Can you talk about the injury you sustained and what the recovery process looked like for you after surgery?
Yeah, for me, that sucked, obviously. Last year I broke my ankle, so, 2 injuries back to back is never fun. Wrist is feeling good. Obviously it was a process to get, the strength back and whatnot. But I feel good. With it being your top hand, you don't realize how much, you use your wrist and whatnot, but, I've adjusted to it and I feel good.
You had a difficult injury last season, as you just mentioned as well, when you were with the Pensacola Ice Flyers in the SB. I know it seems like those days are behind you with, the injury this year and the injury last year, but, how did you handle things and how frustrating was it since you left the WHL? Because it seems like it's been very sort of start-stop for you.
Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into it. Stopped playing for about 3 years just to, I had some family issues back home and whatnot. So I had to take care of some of that stuff. And then, 4 games in last year, snapped my ankle. That's no fun too. So for me, I'm just trying to stay healthy, take care of my body, making sure that I show up every day in practice or in games, just to keep, my body healthy enough to, not be hurt or, not take any risk on any injuries or whatnot. I take advantage of Chris quite a bit. So usually in the training room, kind of getting my body worked on after every game or after every practice, just, just so I don't get back into those injuries.
There's no doubt to me, Oryx, you have one of the most interesting stories in all of hockey. And the heroine of that story is your mother, Kim. For those who may be unaware, you grew up a coda or a child of a deaf adult, and she never let any of that get in the way of providing for you or your 4 siblings. What are your favorite qualities about your mother, and what inspires you about how she brought you, your brothers, and your sister up?
Yeah, one of a kind. Coolest mom out there. More than just, her personality. She's such a caring mom. She puts everything into, making us happy. She puts us first. She's a hero for sure. She, we couldn't be doing what we do now without her. So that's kind of, one of the reasons why I call her a couple times a day just to check in, see how she's doing and whatnot. But yeah, she's put aside everything, just to make sure that we're all taken care of, on the ice or off the ice. Such a caring mom. And, yeah, she's the best.
I think being a child of a deaf adult, it's difficult for, people like me who had an upbringing with hearing parents to kind of put myself in those kinds of shoes. I was curious, what was your first communications as a baby like? Did you happen to remember what your first signed word was? And then do you remember what your first spoken word was?
I think my first signed one was milk. So just milk. I think that was pretty easy for me, but, I learned sign language before I even learned English. And all the boys, the way that we learned English was, watching TV. Obviously, our parents can't speak. So for us, it's kind of just TV. It's a little bit different than most kids out there, but, we found a way to kind of get through it. And, yeah.
It's a topic that I've also talked about with your brother, Ocean, who also played for the team this year. He experienced all the same nuances, but just a little bit before you did. How helpful was it to have someone who was hearing able to guide you through the early stages of a life that not many other people know the ins and outs of?
You're talking about Ocean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. He was the biggest role model. He was kind of like the dad in the family. Obviously, my parents split up while we were pretty young. I think I was 10, 11. And Osh was kind of, that dad role model of the family, kind of just protecting us and whatnot. Super, super protective brother. But, at the end of the day, not many people have that. So I'm super thankful for that. It was kind of just, to be honest with you, when we were younger, it was kind of just him and my mom. kind of just, helping out with the family, making sure everything's taken care of. If something goes down, OSHA's usually there. Translating with my mom at, a school or the grocery store, wherever. My mom's, she's good with that stuff. But for us, we're hearing, so we're always trying to kind of get in there and make sure that we can help out as much as we can. But, yeah, Osh was usually that one guy who took everything on his shoulders and kind of just, he was a dad role model.
For those who haven't watched it, there's a great Hometown Heroes segment, little 5-6 minute segment about you and your family. And something that I saw in that was that your mother put you and your brothers in sports to expand your ability to communicate and socialize. Do you believe that had its intended effect? And what else do you think sports taught you outside of the household?
Yeah, I think sports just gives me confidence. Without sports, I really don't know what, I'd be doing. I played so many different sports growing up: baseball, soccer, hockey, football, kind of just everything. And, for me, I feel like you make the best friends from playing sports. All my best buddies I've played with or played against. Just kind of that culture of, people who play sports, you kind of get that lingo or whatnot. So for me, obviously, it was huge. Not really sure what I'd be doing without, playing hockey or, back home, I usually play softball in the summertime and, a lot of golf and whatnot. But sports is, don't know what I'd be doing without it.
A large portion of the hockey community is familiar with the Wise Black Boys. You, Ocean, your brother Ozzy, and we'll talk more about him, and also Oasis. 4 brothers that all play hockey, but someone who gets lost in the mix, and probably a lot of that has to do with her young age, is your sister Oceania. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Oceania.
Yeah.
Has she shown some of the same interest in sports, or maybe even hockey specifically?
She hates it. She hates it. She had to, go to the rink and watch all 4 boys play her entire life, so she hates it.
Well,
but she's a sporty girl though. She's a very active girl. She's more into like horseback riding and all that kind of stuff. Hockey's the no-go for her though. She'll never strap on the boots. She'll never hockey's not for her, but she loves horses. She loves all that kind of stuff. It's more her. She's more of a girly, obviously, 4 boys. We're pretty protective too, so I don't think she'll be finding a boyfriend anytime soon.
I was going to say 4 hockey playing brothers. She must be the safest girl in Calgary, huh?
Yeah, you should. My little brother Oasis, he's a little Rottweiler in our family. He's the obviously just because he's closest to her age, but it's fun. It's we got such a fun family. Summertime's so much fun. I just saw my mom for the first time in a year and a half, obviously, when I went down to go see Oz. And that was just the best thing ever. She's in London, Ontario right now. So summertimes I spend it in usually in Calgary or Vancouver. So I don't get to spend too much time with her. She moved out, I think, 2 years ago. So seeing her for the first time was awesome.
When I first met you and your brother Ocean, and knowing kind of the trend among your name, I mean, obviously Ozzy bucks that trend, but Oceania, Ocean, Orca, Oasis, all sort of, let's say nautical themed names. What was the inspiration from your mother to go that route? Do you know?
I think she's just she's a big time hippie. We were born in Bowen Island. So basically it's just kind of just right off of Vancouver. It's just a little island. We had a house kind of just on the ocean. So for me, apparently she's seen, orca whales all the time. So that's why she named me Orca. Ocean was just because of the ocean. Ozzy, I have no idea. I think Ozzy Osbourne, the singer. Oasis, no idea. And then Oceania is just spelt, it's ocean with an I and an A at the end. So not really sure what the background from that is, but I get that question quite a bit and I just never know how to answer it.
You know, that brings us to the next topic, which is your brother, Ozzy, who made his NHL debut with the Nashville Predators right at the start of the new year. No doubt there's a great feeling in your heart seeing a Weisblatt make it to the show, but I want to know if it feels like a fruition of everyone's hard work, from your mom to you and Ocean, who kind of paved the way, or do you view it as something that he accomplished completely on his own?
I think it was just him. Obviously growing up, we trained so hard together, but at the end of the day, the way that guy works is just, it's night and day. Just, it's so special to see how hard that guy trains. Summertime, he's in the gym. If he's not in the gym, he's taking care of his body. If he's not he's always doing something. So, as much as I want to take credit, it's all his hard work and, his passion for the game. And, when you love something so much, you don't really like to do anything else. And, that's kind of him. He just hockey. So, couldn't be more proud for him.
I saw the behind the scenes footage of the post game after his NHL debut, and he gets recognized by Steven Stamkos. Did you get a chance to ask him what that was like? Because Stammer must be someone that I'm sure you and your brothers all looked up to as young guys.
Yeah, not even just him. I spent a little bit of time with a couple of those Nashville guys, and so many good guys. Stammer, that was pretty cool. Obviously, I talked to him a little bit after that, and he said that was probably the coolest moment, he's ever been a part of. But there's probably 6-7 great leaders on that team. So for him to just be in that locker room, he feels so special, and he's got all the help that he needs around him. And then the way that guy is he's not shy to kind of, ask for questions. He's not shy on, how can I do this better? How can I do this? And he's always, I think he's close enough with those guys where, he's open to kind of having those conversations on, how he can help his game. But yeah, that was really, really cool moment.
You were coming off the last couple of weeks of your injury when you went back home to go watch Ozzy play. How much of that was a boost in your engine to really want to get back going on the ice and getting back to doing what you love?
Yeah. I mean, I was off for about 2 months. So, watching our games, it's, I love watching our games. That's why, I was on the bench for a little bit, just to kind of, read how other players are playing, read on, how some of the players on our team are playing, and how I can kind of, try and make myself, put an impact on myself on, how I can improve myself out there, and, what we need as a team and whatnot. So that was definitely put some fire in the engine. Obviously first game back, I was so pumped to even play, and, not even just coming back for the first game, but in Monroe, like that's where I got hurt. So, I was just fired up. I wanted to play good. I wanted to help the team win. That was definitely an impact on, how I performed the first game.
Something that I'm sure also added some gas to your tank back in the day was playing against your brothers back in the WHL days. Is it difficult not to focus on what they're doing on the ice when you're playing against them and focus on yourself, or are you wanting to get the better of your flesh and blood?
It's a good question. So Ozzy and Oasis were a little bit different. I grew up kind of just playing with Ocean most of my life. Obviously, he's a year older than me, so I was always kind of up a level playing with them. Playing against Ozzy, that was super, super cool. So that was, Ozzy and me are a little bit more competitive just because he's a little bit younger than me. So I was kind of giving it to him that game. Oasis, on the other hand, he's my little baby brother. So I was a little scared to kind of, go hard on him. Not scared, but, I wanted to make sure that he looked good too. So obviously completely different playing Oasis and Ozzy. Ozzy was a little bit more physical on, he can take it. Now Oasis, he's a beast. He fights, he scores goals, makes plays. He's I wouldn't fight him now. So I'm glad I went easy on him when I played him.
No doubt, can't wait to see what becomes of your younger brothers' hockey careers that are still blossoming. Back to your career, and it was interesting that the first line that Coach Martinson ever puts out is a combination of you, Garrett Milan, and Malik Johnson, three guys that all know each other from the Pensy days. How poetic did it feel to get on the ice with this new team, but have two guys that you know very well in the center and the other side of you?
Yeah, I mean, two great hockey players. Different hockey players, but start with Mallow. Mallow is he's such a good hockey player. He might not be flashy, but he does everything right. He works so hard. Smart hockey player too. Extremely physical. Not a player you kind of want to play against. Millsy, super, super skilled. Fun playing with him. Me and him kind of, especially now we're on a line, that chemistry that we have, it's pretty good, especially when we're both kind of buzzing some games. I don't feel my best, but, I try to contribute somehow. But Millsy, he's such a complete hockey player as well, where, I trust him when I'm, deep in the zone where he's a little bit back, where, if I make a mistake, I know that he's going to cover me, or vice versa. If he makes a mistake, I try and cover him. Two great hockey players, though.
Well, Orca, talking to you about you and your story has been one of my favorite chats of the year thus far. Thanks so much for taking the time, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Back here at Akins Ford Arena, the Rock Lobsters down 1-0. The difference maker, an early goal, a deflection from Vladislav Vlasov that opened up the scoring at 1-0, and it's stayed that way ever since. But if you're just joining us, a lot of shots on goal for the Rock Lobsters. They outshoot the Bobcats 19-9 in that second period, but right now they're going up against another tough competitor in a Blue Ridge goaltender. This night it's Connor Green. Friday night it was Gregory Hussey. The team is coming back out on the ice. Let's see if they can put one in the back of the net and tie things up here before potentially winning this one and taking the series against the Bobcats. Right now, the ball is in the court of Blue Ridge to try and at least keep this where it is. Josh Rosenzweig with his signature start out to every period. Getting the sinews of every muscle stretching before he goes back in the crease. Feels very unlikely that the Rock Lobsters get shut out for the first time Friday, and then 2 games later it happens again. So I'd expect some scoring here. No doubt both teams are going to be pushing. The Rock Lobsters for the equalizer, and the Bobcats for a potential dagger. Referee presents the puck after blowing the whistle. And the Bobcats resume action in this game in the third period with a face-off win, but the Rock Lobsters have it right back. Shinkarik right through the middle, touched in by Brandon Picard. Another mix-up in lines here as Steve Martinson is looking for a spark. Milan with the interception! Looking for that top corner, another save, this time with a shoulder by Green. As we were talking about another mix-up in the lines here, Picard being deployed here with Glukarioff and Milan. Riley Robertson off of the Bobcat clearance, picked up by Glukarioff. Glukarioff into the corner. Good check, opens up the puck back for him. Whiffs on the initial pass, takes a big hit there from Ernst. Daly floats one from the left side towards Rosenzweig, who wants the icing, and he'll get it. That Bobcat unit will have to make its way back out on the ice as they were trying to go for the change on the dump-in. This second line has stayed the same, though, for Steve Martinson. Johnson, Virgili, and Gallant. The only difference that we've seen as of late is Johnson has been the one taking the faceoffs. Usually we see Virgili at the center of this line. And Johnson's going to get kicked off of the circle. Actually, looks like we'll just do it again on the false start. Sanders able to win it off Johnson. Slagers, who has the only primary assist in this game, bounces one up the left side. Johnson helps touch it in. Slagers again to the left for Klinecki. Big hit from Johnson on Klinecki, and another icing from the Bobcats. Feels like the Bobcats caught a little bit more on their heels here at the start of this third period. Andrioli getting an explanation of some sort from an official. Perhaps he didn't think it was an icing. And yet here we are with a face-off in the offensive zone. Garcia, shot from the right boards. Gets blocked out from a short distance. Virgili trying to stick into the corner. Johnson, puck still loose out in front. Getting his hind end over it and freezing it as Green. The backside of Connor Green proving to be a powerful tool there as Johnson was trying to poke that puck out into his own route. Gallant, Johnson, and Virgili staying out there. I think Steve Martinson has liked their play to start this second period, rather this third period. Garcia with a play of the gloves. Dumped it to the near corner. Gallant wins it off of Radchenko. Bobcats going up against three. Dumped in by Vlasov, the goal scorer. Rosenzweig whistles one up the right side boards from his perspective. Dumped back in, Yatoro. Rosenzweig plays it. Stopped by the Bobcats on the far side. Fan of a shot there from Vlasov, who's looking for his second of the game. Gallant, clever feed, Virgili. Able to get it back under his spell. Virgili with a good move at the line, but Dennis Radchenko proves to be the roadblock. Alden. Shinkarik with a dump in. Alden to chase. Once again, confident passing out of the defensive zone by the Bobcats. Brandon Reller tried to bank one into the corner. Doesn't go to plan. And I don't believe we've seen Orca Weisblatt to start this third period. Trying to look out for him on the bench. Right now looking for Weisblatt and potentially Greco. Someone in the chat said that they potentially saw Greco in the second period. I did not see him. But I can't be all-seeing all the time. Sanders to the left. Back behind Green's net. Picard tried to poke one off of Green. It fell to Glukaryov in the slot, who was unable to direct a shot in Green's direction. Supposed to be Orca Weisblatt's line here as we see Sanders go hard to the net. Robertson got in front of that shot, though. Back to the line. Radchenko. Glukaryov with the block shot. Puck still loose. Glukaryov trying to spring the Rock Lobsters out of it. Whiff of a shot. Second bite of the cherry. Devin Sanders blocked out in 2 attempts. And a shot from Norwinski right into the glove of Rosenzweig. Josh Rosenzweig, 24 saves on the night, has led up the game's only goal, however. On the other side, Connor Green with 32 saves. .15:30 on the clock. For those of you just joining us, Michael Greco hasn't been seen since the first period. He took a block shot in a lower extremity. And I don't believe we've seen Orca Weisblatt to start this third period. Matt Garcia tries to treat a defenseman like a saloon door. Still able to progress towards Gallant. Here he is again. Gallant edged out. Norwinski taken behind the net by Radchenko. Floated into the night sky. Shinkarik bats it out of midair with the glove. And then passes it to Virgili. Gallant, awkward change here from the Bobcats. Gallant with the shot. Great save once again from Green, who caught it up high. Garcia at the line. Shinkarik. Good move. Wraparound pass. Virgili with the shot. Took a deflection out wide to the right of Green. Good move from Radchenko past Gallant. Dump in and change from the Bobcats. Shinkarik waiting for something to develop out in front of him. It's Matt Garcia, a defenseman who loves to get in on the offensive play. A fantastic centering pass. All it was needed was a touch from Alden, but he was unable to get the blade on it. Russell picks it up on the near side corner in his half. Russell to the right. Matt Garcia still on the ice. He'll change after his drop pass to Russell. Russell stops it, but sticks it right into Stickless. Reller, backhand send into the zone. Ronan trying to pass it back to a teammate. Daly, Rosenzweig stopping that puck in its tracks. Ooh, puck still loose out behind the net of Rosenzweig. Radchenko, long range shot. I think that one came off of Sanders himself. Milan. The Rock Lobsters fans would love to see some of his magic. Goes forehand, backhand in the net after a couple of dangles. How did that one not go in? Milan back to his feet. Shot from Russell at the line. Falls down to Milan. Bank pass. 2-on-1 developing for the Bobcats. McHugh gets cut out. One of the best opportunities of this game came from a piece of Milan magic. Rock Lobsters with a 9-shot on goal advantage. 33-24. Virgili flashing the moves now. He might take a little piece of magic for sure. The Swede trying to poke it in. Another great save from Green. Virgili with a push on the net there. I think he wanted a call, and he pushes the net off its moorings in frustration. 12:05 left in regulation. The Rock Lobsters need a goal. We'll see if we can get one after this commercial break.
Every business owner who's built a business wonders about their company's legacy. What's the path forward after they decide to take a step back? At the heart of every succession plan is a vision that safeguards hard-earned success. This isn't just paperwork. It's your roadmap, guiding a business during a change in ownership and detailing how ownership transitions and key financial decisions unfold. This instills a profound sense of pride, belonging, innovation, and commitment. ensuring a stable future for the company and a rewarding exit for you. Let's forge that path together.
It's a historic season for all the hockey fans in Athens, and how can you celebrate without beer? The Athens Rock Lobster Clawshank Redemption is available exclusively at Terrapin Tap Room. Terrapin, do the right thing, always. There's only one place you can deck yourself out and represent Athens' first ever pro hockey team, the Rock Lobsters. Head to shop.rocklobstershockey.com to get your hats, shirts, and even jerseys now.
Still 40% off the sale on the Rock Lobster shop. Make sure that you get your favorite Rock Lobsters gear now while you still can. That sale ends tomorrow. A fantastic move from Garrett Milan. Still was unable to beat Connor Green. And right now Green is showing that it's going to take something a little bit extra to beat him. Carter Shinkarik misses with a laser high over the crossbar. Johnson able to win it back. Virgili swept it to Kolatarsi. Johnson working from the right side. Tight angle shot from the right circle. Saved by Green and into the netting. For the first time ever, we've used a lot of that dreaded overtime word. And much to the chagrin of some of the people in the chat. But perhaps overtime is something that Rock Lobster fans will be hopeful for in this game. Currently down 1-0 with 11:39 left in regulation. And with that in mind, the Blue Ridge Bobcats have gone to overtime 5 times this season and have only won once. Rock Lobsters with 9 wins in extra hockey. Good hit from Glukarioff late on Daly. Picard to Milan. Great tape-to-tape pass. Glukarioff fed right back to Super Milan. Shinkarik. Garcia. Glove saved by Green, who saw it the whole way. Blue Ridge will change their unit out. Shinkarik off for Robertson here with Garcia. Still Milan, Glukarioff, and Picard. Still looking for a potential reemergence, if there is any, from Orca Weisblatt. Picard sends it through the inboards. Slagers. Glukarioff in the back of Slagers. Won the puck back temporarily for the Rock Lobsters. Picard, good stop at the line for him. Glukarioff in the high slot. Robertson tries to stop it with the blade of his skate. Klenecki up the far side. Stretch pass, and the Bobcats are going to ice once again. Out of the icing, the Rock Lobsters are going to try and use some tired legs to their advantage, but perhaps there's some tired legs on the Rock Lobster side as well. Rock Lobsters wouldn't have gotten back to their beds until probably around 5 o'clock this morning. I was on the bus with the boys. I didn't get back to my bed in Woodstock till around 6:30. For Rusev. Wraparound attempt, almost gets it through the pads of Rosenzweig. Virgili, backhand to the left side. Johnson tries a shot from the red line itself, but nothing is beating Green as of right now. Rock Lobsters with 37 shots on goal now, all of them saved by Green. Johnson with the face-off win. Russell sends a floater, batted down with a glove of Hall. Left side, working through the middle. Gallant with a good defensive play. Johnson onto the stick of Virgili, right back to Johnson. Misses wide left. Gallant into the end boards, picked up by Johnson. Johnson coming back towards the blue line, drops it for Shinkarik. To the right for Russell. Russell, long-range shot, puck loose out in front. Johnson can't direct it towards Green. Virgili tries to stuff it in on the right side, but can't. We go to a commercial break. It's just not falling for the Rock Lobsters, but there's still 9:44 to go. Is there a Rock Lobster goal in this one? We'll find out after this.
UGA football player Amarius Mims suffered a serious injury. The quality care from the Piedmont team changed his life.
As a football player, my body is everything to me.
When I got injured, I was worried about
My future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
It's a historic season for all the hockey fans in Athens, and how can you celebrate without beer? The Athens Rock Lobster Clawshank Redemption is available exclusively at Terrapin Tap Room. Terrapin, do the right thing, always. There's only one place you can deck yourself out and represent Athens' first ever pro hockey team, the Rock Lobsters. Head to shop.rocklobstershockey.com to get your hats, shirts, and even jerseys now.
Uh-oh, I didn't mean anybody to see that. Goodness gracious. Keep it clean at Akins Ford Arena, folks. Who let that dog out of the cage? All right, anyway. Right now, there's a dog in the cage for the Bobcats, and his name is Connor Green. 37 saves in this one, and he's keeping the Rock Lobsters out of the back of the net. Russell, right circle shot from Milan off the rebound from Russell's shot. Turnaround centering pass from Glukaryov deflected out into the netting. Face-off will happen right out to the left, it looks like, of Green. How are you supposed to let Connor Green leave if you're the Bobcats now? He just came back from his loan on the Fayetteville Marksman. As we see Shinkarik with a slapper, floats out to the left. Now Reller being deployed here with Milan and Glukaryov. With the absence of Weisblatt. Glukaryov tried to take it backhand. Hlavak gets in his way. Russell sends it in. Whistled around to the other side of the boards. Milan tries to keep it in with a poke. Jousting in front of the Rock Lobster bench. Both teams will change. Picard with a dump in. Bounces past the glove of Connor Green. Ronan, backhand feed towards the slot. Hunter Alden was waiting for it, but that opportunity never came. The Rock Lobsters have been the better team in the third. Nothing to show for it just yet, but the great shot from Brandon Picard is to come. It's off the iron. It's a cruel, cruel game sometime, and here comes Devin Sanders the other way. Drop pass, return to Sanders, and then Rosenzweig gets the glove on it. How close have Athens come multiple times in this game to beating Green? And this time, there needs to be a kiss cam between Green and the crossbar, as it's prevented the Rock Lobsters from leveling things at one apiece. Johnson lining up here for a face-off against Devin Sanders. If I were to guess, Malik Johnson perhaps taking the most face-offs in a game this season that he has all season long. Kolatarsi around for Gallant, stopped at the line by Utora. Slagers. Dumped in, Rosenzweig stops it at the end boards. Bounces to Virgili, who pokes it toward himself. Onto the left side for Johnson. Gets the stick into the midst there of Slagers. Pokes it off the body of Gallant. Pass took a soft deflection. Sanders with a great move. Followed up. Did that one go in? No, it didn't. Oh, my goodness. Josh Rosenzweig with an emphatic no at the line. Sanders once again stepping on the brakes. There was just 6 guys on the ice. I think that one was missed by the officials. All the Rock Lobsters kind of shrugging on why they didn't get a call there. Radchenko into the zone, picked off by Robertson. Into the corner for Shinkarik. Virgili to the right for Gallant. Johnson says dump it in. We've been on the ice for some time now, but there's 7 minutes to go. And the Rock Lobsters are running out of time to find a goal in this one. Lukaryov. Into the corner, breezes past Radchenko. Milan tries to squeeze one, but finds the side netting. Milan using his skate, playing a little bit of defense, but Ernst able to come away with it. Hunter Hall takes a check at the line. Milan through the legs of Hall. Blue Ridge playing a very physical game here late on. Kolatarsi with a good move. A deke before the dump. Alden picks it up. Centering pass. Russell was waiting at the welcome mat. Lukaryov getting into it with Andrioli. Rock Lobsters offside, but Alden comes back and reloads. Alden. Lukaryov to Andrioli, but stopped by Garcia. Garcia fumbling around with it initially. Blocker save from Connor Green. Rock Lobster fans starting to get back into it. Halavak spills it out. Alden from the left circle. Forehand, backhand. Ronan picks it back up behind Green's net. Off the skate of Andrioli, bounces up to the left side. Halavak. Ronan, right side of his defensive zone. Shinkarik. Shinkarik a dangle at the line. Left circle shot off the end boards. Back for Robertson. Whiffs on it. Into the neutral zone. Virgili floats it back. Daniel Hanecki. Centering pass cut out by the Rock Lobsters. Here they go the other way. Kaysen Gallant through the right side. Gallant trying to wrap it around. Finds a pass at the line for Robertson, deflected by Virgili just wide. Virgili able to take it the other way, but the pass towards Gallant off the stick of Furuseth and all the way down. Through the left side, Johnson. Virgili. Virgili able to get it in. Johnson plays it with a skate to himself, took it towards the slot. Norwinski sends it out. Off the near boards, picked up by Radchenko. Puck pinballing around the neutral zone. A puck played with a high stick will stop the clock at 3:35. We go to another commercial break here. Rock Lobsters trying to find a goal in this one, but Connor Green is making it difficult.
Since 1968, we've been your trusted source for home comfort. From then to now, we've evolved, but our commitment to your comfort remains unchanged. Experience the expertise that only decades of dedicated service can provide. Trust Stanfield. We've been keeping homes comfortable for over 50 years. Your comfort, our legacy. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
Classic City Flats is a brand new apartment community in Athens, Georgia that redefines luxury living, offering a sleek and contemporary living experience. Our impeccably designed apartment homes boast sophisticated interiors, premium amenities, and exquisite finishes, providing residents with an unparalleled downtown living experience. Classic City Flats is excited to deliver luxury apartments that set the new standard of sophisticated living in Athens, Georgia. Classic City Flats, redefining your horizon of living.
Every business owner who's built a business wonders about their company's legacy. What's the path forward after they decide to take a step back? At the heart of every succession plan is a vision that safeguards hard-earned success. This isn't just paperwork. It's your roadmap, guiding a business during a change in ownership and detailing how ownership transitions and key financial decisions unfold. This instills a profound...
Hate to cut off an ad from our partner Aegis, but back in play here at Akins Ford Arena. Running with a good hit into the corner. Less than 3.5 minutes to go here for the Rock Lobsters to try and find an equalizer or risk getting shut out for the second time in 3 games. And applause necessary for the defense that Blue Ridge has deployed twice in this 3-game set. Russell, Ronan, just wide to the right. Alden picks it back up in the far corner. Backhand feed towards Picard. Alden trying to poke it through. Instead, coming the other way are the Bobcats. Rosenzweig leaves it for Garcia. Time running out here. Milan needs to pull out some of the superhero moves. He does that with a toe drag, but his shot stings the pad of Green. Shinkarik gets the puck taken away from him by Andrioli. A lot of space at the line for Daly. Shot gets deflected into the netting. .2:17 left. The Rock Lobsters looking down the barrel of a loss at home against the Bobcats, despite having 39 shots on goal compared to Blue Ridge's 28. 2 different goaltenders for the Bobcats in 3 days, but the second stand on their head type performance. Hussey on Friday, Green tonight. Green looking for his first win in 7 games in the FPHL this season. Do the Rock Lobsters have something to say? Virgili out here on the first line with Milan and Glukaryov. Net is empty for the Rock Lobsters. Kolatarsi, puck loose out. Gallant can't poke it through, but once again, Green has lost his stick. Konecki gets the goaltender's stick back to Green. Minute 40 left in this game. A roll of the dice here from Steve Martinson. With no goaltender in the net, Shinkarik bats it down. Kolatarsi has to fetch out in front of the penalty boxes. Sends it to Shinkarik. Glukaryov able to poke it into the zone. Backhanded out. Kolatarsi with a play with a skate. Virgili can't drop it back to Kolatarsi, and McHugh with an interception and a slashing call, I believe, going against the Bobcats. Otherwise, that was going to be an easy empty net goal for the Bobcats. Andrioli going into the box. My goodness. That's a big-time call there made by the officials. Let's see if the Rock Lobsters try to get six men on the ice compared to Blue Ridge's 4. Rosenzweig out in front of his bench. Doesn't look like he's returning to the net. Rock Lobsters on the Paloma Park power play once again. This crowd to its feet, but Steve Martinson wants to draw something up here. See him with the whiteboard on the bench. Two minutes for slashing for Andrioli. When we come back from this commercial break, the remainder of this game will likely be on the Paloma Park power play. Hopefully not for the Rock Lobster fans who want to see a goal here. A late Rock Lobster goal will likely send this game to overtime. In 5 games for the Bobcats this year, they are 1-4 in overtime games. There's been a lot of 3-game sets for the Rock Lobsters this year. This is already the only 3-game set, I believe, that won't end in a Rock Lobster sweep. Six men on the ice for the Rock Lobsters, 4 for the Bobcats. It's Gallant, Milan, Virgili, Johnson, Lukaryov, and Shinkarik. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen now for the Rock Lobsters. Shinkarik up the left boards for Gallant. Gallant back to Shinkarik. Shinkarik on the right side for Milan. Shinkarik with a slapper. That went off the bar. Milan trying to follow it up. He misses to the right. Bobcats able to clear it out through Hlavak. And no icing because of the Rock Lobster power play. So they'll have to reload. Missed pass there. Past Milan. Lukaryov able to pick it back up. Dangerous play in the neutral ice. Sanders trying to send a shot towards the net. Not going to be able to. One-time pass, Gallant towards Johnson, who takes a spill. One-timer towards the net. That one's just wide. It still shaves crucial seconds off the clock. Just 15 seconds left. Shinkarik has to put the Blasters on the skates. Gallant over the line. Gallant, toe drag, shot wide to the left. Johnson with a turnaround deflection out in front. Gallant needs to shoot. Someone needs to shoot. It's deflected wide, and the Bobcats win again. The Bobcats able to shut out the Rock Lobsters twice in a 3-game set. It took another heroic goaltending performance from a Blue Ridge goaltender. On Friday, it was Hussey. Tonight, it was Green, who stops 39 shots en route to his first win of the season for the Bobcats. The Bobcats able to gain 3 points from this regulation win, as we see the salute at the center of the ice. No doubt this was a Bobcat team knowing that they were going up against a Rock Lobster squad that had 20 more points on them in the Continental Division. But the Bobcats, through great defense, great collapsing at the line, and great goaltending, are able to take 2 off of Athens and go back to Wytheville, having taken 1 at home and 1 on the road. I felt like it was there for the Rock Lobsters. Opportunity at Green's net, but they can't find a way past a 24-year-old from Tampa Bay, Florida, playing a little bit like Vasilevsky, a different kind of Tampa Bay goaltender, if you catch my drift. Rock Lobsters with a 1-0 loss here against the Blue Ridge Bobcats. They now go to 29-6-2 on the season, and they will stay at 80 points on the year. taking a look at what's ahead because we've got a very interesting 3-game set once again this upcoming weekend, rather next weekend, against the Monroe Moccasins. The Rock Lobsters welcome one of their greatest foes in the FPHL thus far, but the Moccasins have still not won a game against the Athens Rock Lobsters. A game on Friday at 7:05, Saturday at 7:05, and Sunday at 4:05. A little matinee for you, which will be brought to you by Mateen. A Mateen matinee. How about that? Rock Lobsters will lick their wounds and try to get back going next weekend against the Moccasins. But until then, this has been Mateen Rat here from Akins Ford Arena. The Rock Lobsters fall to the Blue Ridge Bobcats 1-0. A Connor Green shutout is able to stuff the Rock Lobsters. We'll see you next time. Next weekend, a 3-game set against the Moccasins.